is away today, and so is Sam. So instead, you have me. I'm Gary. I am the Pilates instructor at Mayfair Health, and I've gone through with Jack some exercises. So we're aligned on what we need to do today. So we are going to do a series of 6 exercises. I think the same as what you would normally do. We're going to do the exercises for 40 seconds, and then we're going to have a 15-second break in between the exercises. So similar to what we would normally do. The exercises, so you know what the exercises are. I'm actually going to use to do a shoulder press. So what works for you on a shoulder press? And the other thing we're going to need is we're going to need a stretchy band. So a stretchy band, because we're going to be doing this kind of exercise. I can see you're in a living room, so we're going to need something that we can just do a press on as well. So maybe your sofa or a chair. Yeah, everyone can see me properly? Yeah. Anyway, okay, the first exercise we're going to do is a lunge hold press. A lunge hold press, I'm going to show you how to do that one. And I'm going to show you how to do it on this bed here. So I would come down onto, can you see me? So we're going to come down onto both knees like this. So we're going to be kneeling. We're going to take one leg forwards. The leg is going to be forwards. I want to have a nice right angle in this knee. And I want you to think about your heel being directly underneath your knee. So we've got a lovely right angle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tuck the toes under on the back leg, also thinking about this knee being directly underneath your hip. And then we're going to float this knee. So we're going to float this knee. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a press. So we're going to press with a dumbbell. We're going to press up and down. So up and down like so. When we press up and down on the dumbbell, we're thinking about the dumbbell staying directly above the shoulder, and we're not locking out the elbow as we go. So that's the first exercise. We will do that on both sides. That actually makes up 2 exercises. The second exercise that we're going to do is a band pull apart. So we're going to get a band of your choice. I'm going to sit down to do this one. So we're going to hold onto the band like so. I'd like you to think about your hands being directly underneath your shoulders. Not directly, so slightly underneath your shoulders. And think about your shoulders being back and down, so your shoulder blades are going to go down your back. From there, you're going to take a nice inhale. On the exhale, we're going to see if we can just pull out on that band. And then we're going to get some resistance on the way back in. Nice. And then we're going to press out on the band again, stretching that band. And just create a little bit of resistance as we come back in. Okay? Second exercise. The third exercise, I'm going to have to move my camera. Okay. The next one is going to be a wall sit hold. So what we're going to do is we're going to need a wall. And we're going to go and trying to get the camera into the right position. Does that work? Here. So you're going to stand against the wall. We're going to slide down on the wall. And here again, what we're going to do is we're going to have the knees at a nice right angle. So the right angle is important. There's going to be 3 points of contact. There's going to be the back of your head. There's going to be your shoulders. And there's just going to be the bottom, kind of bottom of your spine. And we're just going to hold that one. Think about having a nice strong core as we hold that exercise. The next exercise we're going to do is a dip. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to move the camera around a little bit. So the dip, this is where we're going to need a sofa, we're going to need a chair, something at a nice height. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit down, we're going to take the hands to the side, hands are going to be directly underneath your shoulders. So it's important the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. You're then going to shuffle your bum off of the sofa, the bench, whatever you've got. And we're going to dip down. The elbows are going to go behind you as we dip down. And then you're going to exhale as we come back up. So dipping down and then coming back up. Important that the elbows stay behind you and your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. The last exercise is going to be a plank. I think everybody probably knows the plank. And we're going to do a plank and we're going to hold the plank. Can you see me? I think you can. So we're going to do a plank. We're going to do it on the elbows. So what we're going to do, I come into like a bit of a 4-point kneeling position first. Can you see all of me? And then you're going to take your legs back. There's two options. If this is too much for you in the full plank, we can just then lower the knees down and hold it here. So a great exercise for your full body. So they are the exercises. Does anyone have any questions? No? And the first exercise we're going to do is that lunge hold. So if we can get ourselves in position, I've got my timer here. And we're going to start with that lunge hold. So we are going to be kneeling. We're going to take our right leg forward. We've got that lovely right angle in the leg. The dumbbell's going to be in our left hand. We are going to then float that left knee by tucking the toes under. And we're going to reach up that dumbbell and come back down. If it's too much for you, you can always bring your left knee down. Then we're going to go for another 10. 9. It's actually quite tough. 2. And then 1. Nice. We're going to have a little rest for 15 seconds. How did everyone do? Okay? The next one we're going to do, so we're going to do the other side. So we're going to have left leg forward. And we're going to then float here. And we're going to come all the way up, lifting up, and then lifting down. Great. I had a little technical issue with my timer then. So we are going to go for another. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. And then we can have a little break. The next one we're going to do is this banded, is the banded pull-aparts. And we're going to do that in 15 seconds. So everyone get ready with their band. So we're going to have the band in front of us. Think about that hands being slightly lower than your shoulders. Pull the band apart. And do a nice bit of resistance as we come back in again. You're thinking about your shoulder blades, trying to glide towards your spine as we pull the band apart, and a nice bit of resistance as we come back in again. Great. 10 seconds like this. So really working through your back, working your shoulders, working your real delts. Nice. And then we can go for a 15-minute break. 15-second break, 15-minute. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to do those wall sit holds. Everyone see me? So we're going to come up against the wall. We're going to have that nice right angle in the knee, sitting up against the wall. Think about those 3 points of contact. So think about head, shoulders, tailbone. And also think about that nice right angle in your knees. We're going to hold it here. We've got 20 seconds. Just holding it here. Core is nice and strong. So think about just bringing your ribs slightly closer to your hips. So we've got that lovely strong core. And we're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 15-second break. The next exercise we're going to do is the dips. So get ready with your sofa. Something that we can dip on. Okay, so here we're going to bring our hands so they're directly underneath our shoulders. We're going to then slowly shuffle our bum off the surface. I've got a nice right angle in your knees. We're going to bend the elbows. The elbows are going to go behind us. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Think about keeping the shoulders back and down. So shoulders away from the ears. Coming all the way down. And all the way back up. Nice. Because I teach Pilates, I can't help but speak about the breath. So I would go inhale on the way down, a nice exhale on the effort as we push up. We've got 3 seconds to go. Nice, a 15-second break. The next one we're going to go into is plank. So when you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves into that plank position. We're going to come onto our elbows. Elbows are directly underneath the shoulders, and we step the feet back. We step the feet back and keep the hips up a little bit high. If it's too much for you here, we can always bring the knees down. We're going to hold this for 25 seconds. Think about tucking the chin slightly. I want your head to be in line with your spine. I want your core to be switched on. I'm doing this video, I'm actually having a little shake. We're going to go to 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. And we have a 15-second. Actually, we can have a minute break because we've actually finished the exercises. How are they for you, okay? Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. So the opposite leg's going to come forward this time. Floating that back knee, and we're doing that nice shoulder press. Not locking out the elbow as we come up. Think about keeping the dumbbell directly above the shoulder the whole time. Core is switched on. If it's too much for you, you can always bring that back knee down. Good. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to have a break. The next one we're going to do is with bands. So we're going to grab the band. Okay, so we're going to grab the band. We're going to do a nice band pull apart. So holding the band in front of you, hands are slightly lower than your shoulders. We're going to pull out on the band and create a little bit of resistance on the way back in. Looking for our shoulder blades to try and meet the spine or glide along towards the spine as we pull out. Keeping the shoulders down. So try not to let the shoulders come up towards your ears. Exhale as we come out. And then inhale as we slowly come back in again. And one more. And then we can have our little 15-second break before we're going to move into the wall hold. So I'm going to move my camera to here. Nice. Okay, so wall holds. We're going to come up against the wall. We're going to have our knees, our legs in that 90-degree angle. We're going to place our head on the back of the wall, shoulders on the back of the wall, lower back is going to be against the wall. Core is going to be nice and strong, and we're just going to hold it here. We've got 25 seconds. Just hold it here. Think about your breath when we're here as well. So we can take nice big inhales in and exhales out. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 15-second break. Next exercise. We're racing through them today. So we're going to do the dips. So find your surface that you're going to come up against, your sofa, your chair. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands that are directly underneath our shoulders. We're going to dip down. Elbows are going to go behind. And we're going to raise up. Keep those elbows nice and tucked in. And think about your hands being directly underneath your shoulders. I don't want the elbows to come out wide. Nice. Ooh, I'm feeling some work. I thought I'd commit to doing all the exercises with you. So we're going to do 7, 6, 4 actually. Trying to look at my watch. 1 second. We're going to have that 15-second break. The next one we're going to go into is the plank on elbows. Go into the plank. So onto your elbows. Elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. We're going to walk the feet out, and then we're going to find that nice plank. So core is nice and strong. If it's too much for you, you can bring your knees down and hold that plank from your knees, so a knee plank. We're going to hold it here. Shoulders are back and down. Core is nice and strong. You're going to go for 15 more seconds. We've got this. Make sure the hips are up. Make sure that back is nice and flat as well. Hopefully my back is flat. 3, 2, 1, 15 seconds. Actually, we've got a minute break. Very nice. How's everyone doing? We've got one more round to go. We're going to start with those lunges. Thank you for your feedback. We're going to start again. So let's get ourselves into that lunge position, lunge hold. We're going to bring that right leg forwards. We're going to have that lovely right angle on the knee. The hand's going to go into, so the dumbbell's going to go into the left hand, tucking the toe under if you want to, lifting up. Dumbbell's going to be above the shoulder as we lift up. We're not locking out on the elbow. Core is nice and strong. Back stays nice and flat. Exhale as we reach up. Inhale. See, I can't help but talk about the breath. Coming up and then coming back down. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. We're going to have a 15-second break before we go on to the other side. So we can start preparing actually. So maybe we can bring our left foot forwards in preparation. Okay, so we're going to get ready. We've got 40 seconds here. We're going to tuck that back toe under if you want to, lift the knee up, and then we're going to then raise that dumbbell up and then back down again. Nice strong core, reaching up. Dumbbell stays above the shoulder, not locking out the elbow. Tough. So I agree. That back knee is really hard. So if you want to bring that back knee down, you can. Nice controlled movements. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 15-second break. Next one we're going to do is that banded pull-apart. So we're going to get the band ready. We can be sat down, we can be stood up. Okay, so we're going to have the band in front of us like so. Slightly lower than your shoulders. Bring the shoulders back and down. You're going to pull out. What people can do when we do this is we hunch the shoulders up towards our ears. We need to keep them nice and soft and keep them down. And on the way back in, we're creating a bit of resistance on the way back in as well. So out. Create that resistance on the way back in. Nice. Exhale out. Inhale in. Core is nice and strong as we go for 10 more seconds. Going to go for 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Nice. 15-second break. We're now going to do those wall holds. Moving my camera. We're nearly there. Doing really well. Okay, so up against the wall. Great, so we're going to slide ourselves down the wall. We've got our knees in that nice right angle position. Weight is thoroughly throughout the whole foot. So weight in the heels, weight in the toes. You're going to think about head being against the wall, shoulders being against the wall. Bringing those hips towards your ribs or ribs towards your hips so we've got a nice strong core. We've got 20 seconds here. I find the breath really helps me. So nice big inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. And then we're going to have a 15-second break. We are nearly there. We've just got dips and plank to go. Doing really well. I'm a little bit out of breath myself. Okay. Okay, we're going to go for those dips. So we're going to be against our surface. Move myself. Hands directly underneath the shoulders. Dipping down. Elbows go behind you. Hands directly underneath your shoulders. Core is nice and strong. Dipping down. Dipping back up. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. Nice. Don't let those shoulders hunch up. We've got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, well done. 15-second break before we go into the plank. So plank on elbows, we get ourselves ready. We're going to start now. So elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Stepping the feet out. I want a nice straight line from shoulders all the way through to your hips, and then your legs can go down. You can also bring your knees down if you want. Think about a nice strong core. I think about bringing my ribs slightly closer to my hips. That will give you a nice strong core. Holding it here for 15 more seconds. Think about your crown reaching forwards, a nice tuck chin. You're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Well done. Right, I'm just going to grab a chair. How was that for everyone? Thank you everyone for joining.